About June 24th Indian Express news articles. First article is related to Modi listening Z Cold War mentality block confrontation must be abandoned. President Xi Jinping on Thursday said the world must abandon Cold War mentality and block confrontation and oppose the unilateral sanction and abuse of sanctions. Even though the scale of epidemic has reduced globally, many of its ill effects are still visible in global economy. Carefully worded the joint statement, the BRICS leaders said that they support between Ukraine and Russia. They also committed to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states and peaceful resolution of differences and disputes between the countries through dialogue and consultation. Let us continue this article in page 4. In this article, the reference to exclusive circles is also oft used term by China for groupings like Quad. BRICS initiative including the establishment of vaccine R&D center, coordination between custom departments and establishment of shared satellite constellation and mutual recognition of pharma products have direct benefits for people. On Afghanistan, the leaders emphasized that territory should not be used to threaten or attack any country or to shelter or train terrorists or to finance the terrorist activities. The BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa brings together 5 of the largest developing countries representing 41% of the global population and 24% of global GDP and 16% of global trade. Next article that we are moving into is related to Indian technical team reaches Kabul, emphasis IAF flies in quake relief. Taking an incremental step towards reopening Indian embassy in Afghanistan, Delhi Thursday sent a technical team to Kabul where it will be stationed at embassy to coordinate delivery of humanitarian aid. India also sent aid for peoples of Afghanistan a day after a deadly earthquake claimed more than 1,000 lives in Paktika province near the border with Pakistan. While Delhi said the stationing of the Indian technical team was meant for monitoring and coordination of delivery of humanitarian aid, it is being seen as a first step toward reopening the Indian embassy, which was shut in August last year when Taliban seized under control of the country. Underlining that India has a historical and civilization relationship with Afghan people. Let us continue this article in page 4. There is nothing here. The humanitarian aid was given by India. Okay. Next article that we are moving into is related to Russia says happy to help India bid for 2036 Olympics. While it continues to be ostracized from world sport following the invasion of Ukraine, Russia has offered to help India in hosting the 2036 Olympic if the bid receives backing from International Olympic Committee. Although no concrete official move has been made, India has repeatedly expressed interest to host the 2036 Games with Ahmedabad as a central city. A unique multi-city bid that will be centered around Ahmedabad as a key destination. High Court that we are preparing for the Olympics of 2036 and the Olympic Committee will visit in 2025. On Wednesday, during his visit to India, Mattisson told RIA Sports that Russia was very happy that India is hoping to host the game. Reaching out. At this early stage, Russia's offers is mostly symbolic, but it indicates its eagerness to bolster bilateral ties, especially with India emerging as a major buyer of Russia's oil amid sanction. 2036 Olympics is all about already decided in Paris in 2024, Los Angeles in 2028 and Brisbane in 2032. Next opportunity will come only in 2036. Next article that we are moving into is related to consumption basket expanded. Revamped consumer expenditure survey begins in July 1. Government will launch a fieldwork for the new consumer expenditure survey on July 1. The revamp including features such as 3 visits by an enumerator to a household to seek more detailed information on their consumption basket. The basket itself has been expanded in the new round. The largest category of miscellaneous items has been segregated for the detailed collection of data and a consumption of those items along with the inclusion of the items which have been seen either consumption trends in the recent times. Also, detailed question for seeking inputs on welfare subsidies such as food grains are learned to be included. About 1,700 investigators are likely to be engaged in the revamped consumer expenditure survey as against 800 to 900 earlier people aware of the development said. The survey will cover around 1.2 lakh households in rural areas and around 84,000 households in the urban areas. Let us continue this article here. The survey is usually conducted as quinquennial, that is every 5-year interval, and the last survey was conducted in 68th round in July 2011 to June 2012. The government had, however, junked the 2017-18 findings of the consumer expenditure survey, citing the quality issues. Studies based on leaked survey findings have pointed to a rise in the poverty levels in 2017-18. The three visits will include the first visit to cover items of daily consumption which is asked on a 7-day basis. Second visit will capture details of the items which are regular items but not used on daily basis. That's on a 30-day basis, and then they will collect data on durables which would be on 365-day basis. It was felt that earliest schedule doesn't capture goods and services which have come more recently and they would be included. Also, it was felt that survey times should not be more than 40 minutes. And also the changes in data collection, items and methodology may make the results incomparable with the previous consumer expenditure surveys, and the new poverty estimates will have to be drawn since they won't be consistent with the earliest one. Let us continue the next article. It's all about Dinkar Gupta, appointed as NIA chief. Dinkar Gupta, 1987 batch IPS officer and former chief of Punjab Police, has been appointed as a Director General of National Investigation Agency. Next article is all about India team in Lanka, ready to aid recovery via investment. New Delhi is ready to help Colombo's quick economic recovery by promoting investment, connectivity and strengthening economic linkages. India's recent economic aid stands at $3.5 billion. New Delhi also supported Colombo during the meeting at the International IMF International Monetary Fund in March this year, and this on other forum including regional and plurilateral organization. During the meeting, the delegation underlined that India stands ready to help Sri Lanka in quick economic recovery by promoting investment, connectivity and strengthening economic linkages. They reiterated Sri Lankan centrality to India's neighborhood first policy. Both sides reaffirmed commitment to development of India-Lanka ties. The recent economic, financial and humanitarian assistance of over $3.5 billion to Sri Lanka was guided by neighborhood first policy and security and growth for all in the region Sagar vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Next article that we are moving into is all about safe suffering. The government must help build resilience against recurring floods, put warning system along long-term mitigation measures in place. Even Assam becomes a site of political turmoil in Maharashtra. The people in northeastern India are facing the fury of Brahmaputra, Barak and their tributaries. Nearly 100 people have lost their life in the rain-reduced landslides and floods that have engulfed 30 of Assam's 35 districts. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has reportedly said that once the water resides, the government will find a permanent solution to the state's flood problem. More than half of a century, Assam has relied on the embankment to stave off the swelling rivers during the monsoon. The growing body of literature shows that these walled structures, most of them have not been repaired for decades, are ill equipped to tackle the floods, especially at the time of when climate change is complicating the state's hydrology. informed State Water Resource Minister informed the Assam Assembly that close to 1,300 cases of embankment breaches have been recorded since 2000. Flood ripped apart nearly 200 embankment in 2020. This year they have destroyed nearly 300 such structures. A report of a public parliamentary standing committee on water resources last year advised the state government. Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water Resources last year advised the state government of Odisha, Assam, to strengthen the flood protection measures, address soil erosion and desilt the rivers. But these measures continue to be on the to-do list of the Assam government. Destruction of natural wetlands and outmoded shiver system in the cities including Guwahati, projected to be a smart city by 2025. Meanwhile, the state government would do well to build the people's resistance to the elements in crisis, towns and villages. Such measures include putting flood warning system in people, place and shifting peoples and livestock to safer locations. Let us continue the next article in the next video. If you like the video, please do share, like, comment and also subscribe. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. I will clarify your doubt regarding the comment. Thank you. Have a nice day.